Today is Friday. Happy Friday. I hope that you guys are staying warm if you're in Colorado because we are having a huge snowstorm today. Well, starting today. But I'm coming to you with coffee, and I'm going to also talk about pros and cons of hiring a nanny. If you guys may not know, I am a full-time nanny. I nanny 3 little boys, 2, 4, and 6. So I'm definitely very busy, but it's fun. And I love it. But for parents who are considering a nanny, I have some pros and cons for hiring one. My pros is your kid will have one-on-one time, which is awesome because if you have them in a daycare, like they only get limited one-on-one time. But if you have a nanny, the nanny is with your baby or your kids all day and like are really in tune into them, and there are no other kids to, take care of. So that's one good pro. You also have control over the care that your nanny give. So like you can have a list of like, this is what you want your kid to be doing throughout the day. You could control like if you don't want certain things, like the nanny respects all of your wishes. My other pro is you have help with adult attachment. So your kid gets used to like having that adult figure around all the time. So even when you're not around, like they have that attachment because it's a one-on-one situation. And another good plus of having a nanny is nannies do more than just take care of your kids. So if you are a busy mom and a busy dad, and then you get home and like you have a ton of things to do, usually your nanny has done majority of the baby thing. So you don't have to do any of those. So as far as doing laundry, washing all the bottles, making sure everything's put away, cleaning up all the toys, wiping down everything, like the nanny has done it. Cleaning the rooms, like, is great. So you do have that extra help, which is awesome, I think, because working a long day and having to come home and then do a whole bunch of chores is very hard. My next pro is it's flexible. So like you could design the schedule around what you want it to be. So if you only work part-time, you can only have a part-time nanny. If on Tuesdays you don't work at all, your nanny doesn't come at all. It's just like you can schedule. And then like the other good flexibility about it is that, say for instance something comes up, I mean, as long as you give the nanny a good heads up, like you could just be like, hey, I don't need you to come in this morning, but you come in the evening. So yeah, the flexibility is really nice, and it's nice for the nanny too. So it works both ways. The nanny also comes to you, which is also great. You don't have to pack up a baby in a car. Like think of winters, having to bundle a baby up and putting all the stuff on, and then having to get in the car, drop the baby off, and then try to get to work on time. Like you don't have to do that. The nanny is there at whatever time that you set, and they are usually prompt unless there is bad traffic or something or an accident. Like nannies are usually on time. I know that I am. And then nannies are just convenient. Like I said, like you have someone help around the house, you have someone to come to you. The flexibility of schedule can always change. So yeah, those are the pros. So the cons are, let me fix my screen, I feel a little twisted. The cons are nannies are expensive. They are very expensive. They're probably one of the top expensive childcare options out there. And yeah, so if you want to budget a nanny, that's something I recommend, because it is not cheap having a nanny. Also, a con is if you're not comfortable with someone being in your house and being around your just being in your house in general, especially say for instance you work from home because of quarantine and having a nanny, that's something that you really should think about before hiring a nanny, because that's a person that you really don't know, and then they're in your personal space. So think about that, because that may not be fun. Also, your kid will have limited child interaction, but just from my experience, I don't think that is that limited, because I've also nannied infants and we've gone places. So, and we play with other kids. So they had a lot of child interaction. So I guess it just depends. Like during quarantine, yes, your kid would have limited child interaction, but in a different case, and I think that your child would still have good kid interaction. You just have to sign up for those classes, but that's where the expense comes in, because you have to pay for those classes for the nanny to take your kid to. My next one is you have to buy all the resources for the nanny to do activities. So like paint and craft things and whatever the, like if the nanny, like me, I go on Pinterest and look up a whole bunch of things that I want to do. And if the things aren't in the house, I try to not ask the parents to buy anything, because I just know that it's already expensive having me and then also buying stuff on top of that. So I try not to and try to work with what we have. But if you don't have anything, you do have to stock up on like paint and craft boards and all this other stuff to just have some activities throughout the day. Another thing about another con about having a nanny is that, and this is if you don't have a contract, I guess. I've never so a nanny, a nanny can quit at any moment. So if they're unhappy or if it's just not working for them anymore, like they can quit at any moment, and it's just something that happens. I'm trying to say, like, I've quit a job, but it was under certain circumstances that I had to leave. And I also did give 2 weeks notice. So it was like I did what I would do if it was at any other job. So I would believe that most nannies would still give you a 2 weeks notice. And the good thing is that there are so many nannies out there. So you wouldn't have a really hard time looking for a new nanny. I definitely recommend care.com to find you a new nanny. And then my last con is that you have to manage an employee. Like, these people work for you. So if you're not comfortable with telling them what to do or saying, oh no, I don't want you doing that, or being upfront, like, that's going to be hard. So really think about if you want to manage someone. So those are my tips today as far as the pro and con of having a nanny. I hope you guys have a great Friday, a great weekend, stay warm, and don't forget to check out the Mama Llama website. We have a cool 10% off sign-up code if you sign up with our email. Bye!